There are government agencies that are vested in keeping leaders from growing out of your system, out of your community. The original people of this land and any land that has been colonized, those original people, their history, their truth, their justice, anything towards that happening is a hindrance towards the Western Empire. And everything within the Western Empire is vested on sucking the life out of that so-called old world without being recognized for doing that. Instead being recognized for being like the superheroes of the universe. Science is the biggest weapon of that world, and it's not even that strong. It's not at all. Like, that's not where your strength would be. So it's not where that strength is. The next moves are not going to be involving like science and technology and all that other stuff. It's going to shift gears, evolve into a so-called spiritual interpretation of mind control. In the truther community, they have to distract you with all these other shits like, it's only about, Tartaria and mud floods and no forest on flat earth and flat earth and chemtrails and CERN and all this other stuff. The pieces of the puzzle. So you're distracted by all that stuff. Is that not important? Of course not. That's all part of the story. But the bigger storyline is like how all these pieces fit together. In the New Age community and the truther community, they focus on all these, pieces of the puzzle and then say, we're united on, how all these pieces fit together. But they won't talk about how all these pieces fit together outside of what they're comfortable with talking about. So they'll just abstractly talk about how we're all connected and united, vegans and New Agers and flat earth and all this other shit, conscious community, or we're all the same, right? It's that simple. We have that discussion without having that discussion. And then the discussions that need to be made from not having that discussion start to fester inside the individuals and on the macro scale. And this is why I'm saying it's so important to talk about this, because we're missing out. By not talking about this stuff, we're missing out on opportunities to move through time and through this experience, like healing and moving things, making big moves. We're missing out on a lot of this stuff because a lot of people are still limiting themselves by the creature comforts psychologically and consciously of the people who are still limited to the system of racism, white supremacy. The real truth exists just on like the surface. Like you don't have to it doesn't have to be super complex. Your justice is a threat to their privilege. Your truth is a threat to the power that comes from their mistruths, the empire that has thrived under their mistruths. Right now, as people are talking about the word change, like the word love, like relationships that are based upon the word love. Well, people are talking about relationships or revolution based upon the word revolution. They ain't really talking about like the intricacies, the complexities of revolution. And they're really talking about learning from previous revolutions and the depths that we have to go into, like internal revolutions that need to occur before you even start talking about the macro scale.